بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now, the next concept will be getting into something called OSPF LSA Types. LSA stands for Link State Advertisements. So if you remember, we already discussed about the LSAs, the normal OSPF advertisements, what we have. In that, there are different types of advertisements. So we'll try to understand the different types of advertisements and their behaviors as we move on. So you can see there are almost like 10 to 11 LSAs. Now here we'll be seeing around 5 LSAs, 6 is not used, 7 we'll see in the NSSA concept. And whatever the LSAs used from 8, 9, 10 level, we call them as advanced LSAs, which are commonly used with BGP and MPLS OSPF integration. So when you run some kind of traffic engineering in BGP, in MPLS, then that requires some special additional messages for advanced traffic engineering. So probably we're not going to see these options, but if you are going with some service provider courses later on in the future, you will learn some kind of traffic engineering. There, it needs some special LSAs to be required for traffic engineering. So we'll try to understand the different LSAs, and you can see the names like LSA1 called as a Router LSA, Network LSA, Summary LSA, Autonomous System LSA. Now these names, I don't really go with the names. Most of the time, we just say LSA1, LSA2, LSA3, 4 like that. So let's try to understand what are these LSAs exactly. Now in these LSAs, we have LSA1 and 2 belongs to same area. I'm just categorizing them. And LSA3, nothing but routes from a different area, OIA, and the LSA4 and 5 relates to external routes. So any external routes coming via redistribution, they come under LSA4, 5. And then we have some LSA7, NSSA. When you talk about stubs, we'll be seeing this LSA. The LSA6 is again not used in multicast. OSPF is not used nowadays. So we use PIM protocol. But there is a multicast OSPF protocol which was designed initially, but this is no more supported on Cisco devices as well as not really used. So let's try to get deeper into these LSAs here. Now the first one, we call it as LSA1. LSA1 stands for Router LSA. And it is an advertisement which is sent by one internal router to another internal router, which means, let's say we got few routers inside the area. Now this router receives a route, some information, some routing updates or routing information. So what it is going to do is it is going to simply forward this information to the next router. And what that router is going to do is that router is going to forward that update to the next router, and then to the next router, and then to the next router. So you can see the blinking arrows indicates that these are the LSA1s, where one internal router is sending an update to another internal router. So same thing you can say here within the area, whatever the updates goes within the area, and one internal router sending an update to another internal router, we call them as LSA1s. So what is LSA1? LSA1 is generated by the internal router. Internal means the router which is not the border. Now there's a difference. This is the border router, and this is the internal router. Internal means just single area route. And typically these routes, we call them as O routes. Remember, O routes means the routes coming from the same area. So the LSA updates coming within the same area, we call them as O routes. And these LSA1 advertisements are sent within the area. Outside the area, these LSAs are not going to be advertised. So in simple, we can say like internal updates or O routes, we refer them as LSA1s. Now, similar way, we have LSA2. Now, LSA2 is also called as internal routes within the same area. But if you remember, if you go back to the OSPF DR, BDR elections, so whenever you are trying to connect a network to a broadcast domain, like BMA networks, so there will be a DR and the BDR elections, and the remaining routers, we call them as others. So any update which is going from DR to other, which means normally what happens, the other will send the update to the DR, and the DR will take the responsibility of sending the same update to others. So any update coming from other to the DR, we still call it as LSA 1. So the DR sending the update to the others, that is called LSA 2. Because in broadcast networks, there is no direct exchange of the information, the OSPF routes. So everything goes to the DR. So in this case, the DR updates to the other updates to the DR is LSA 1. And LSA 1 happens here as well as in point-to-point links. If you're connecting one point-to-point link, then there is an LSA 1. So there will be no LSA 2 in point-to-point links because there is no DR concept in point-to-point links. So the DR sending an update to others, we call them as LSA 2s. So if you see here, LSA 1 and LSA 2 both are internal updates or internal advertisements within the same area. But again, as I said, the difference here is when you have a DR kind of scenario, you will have two LSAs. If you don't have DR kind of scenario, you just have a point-to-point link, there is only one LSA. But when you have a DR scenario, then there will be two LSAs, LSA 1 and LSA 2. So the other sends a DR to LSA 1 and DR sends to other is LSA 2. Again, the same thing. It is flooded within the same area. So it goes within the same area. It will not cross the ABR, typically the O routes. So the next LSA will see LSA 3. Now, just now we discussed about the LSA 1 and LSA 2. So the LSA 1 and the LSA 2s are the LSAs within the same area. So these all are blinking ones. They are part of either LSA 1 or LSA 2 because these are the OSPF updates goes within the same area. So now here we got a border router. The ABR router is also receiving this LSA 1 and LSA 2s. Now the job of this ABR router is to send this LSA 1 and LSA 2 informations to the next area. And that is what LSA 3. So LSA 3 are the advertisements, the OSPF advertisements, which are exchanged between the areas. So now when the border router is sending those updates to another area, it will be sending as an LSA 3. So which means inter-area exchange, we can say as LSA 3. And who will do this? Area border router is responsible for exchanging the routes. So area border router will generate these LSAs. And again, they are forwarded to next area. Like if you have one more area, again, they are sent here. Again, these updates will go as LSA 1 and 2 within the same area. Again, they will go outside the area through border router in the form of LSA 3s. So technically, the LSA 3s are referred as OIA routes because if you remember in the routing table, you have O routes, the routes coming from the same area, OIA, the routes coming from a different area, E1 or E2, these are the external routes. So any routes coming via redistribution, we call them as external routes. Like we did some redistribution topics in the previous class, external routes, because the next two LSAs are dependent on external routes. Okay, so these LSAs are sent as LSA 1 and 2 and then as an LSA 3, again, by the border router to the next area. Now let's talk about the LSA 4 and 5. So before I go with LSA 4, I would like to discuss LSA 5 first because they are linked with each other. So both are basically relating to external routes. So first, let me explain the LSA 5 and then we'll come back to the LSA 4. So now we got this OSPF areas, area 10, area 20, and area 30. We got these areas here. Now, what I want is, we have some external routes here. So these external routes will be redistributed into the border router. So which means whatever these external routes we have, so these external routes will be coming from the border router here. So these external routes will be redistributed here into the OSPF. So who will redistribute? ASBR, right? So this ASBR is going to redistribute the routes, which means whatever the routes coming from EHRP or RAP or BGP or any protocol, even static, they get redistributed into OSPF and they will be seen as external routes. So these external routes, we call them as LSA files. So LSA file refers to the external route, simple. So any route, redistributed routes, we call them as LSA files. So who will advertise this? The ASBR. So the router which do the redistribution, we call it as Autonomous System Border Router. And again, these LSA files are being flooded outside to all the routers as an external route. So they are typically called as LSA files. So they go to the entire OSPF domain. And while it is doing that, okay, so here LSA file, it will be sent to each and every router inside the OSPF in the form of LSA files, of course, to everyone. And who will originate this LSA, the ASBR router. And while it is doing that, so LSA file is simple, external route, simple thing, that's it. External routes is called LSA files. So while it is doing that, we also talk about LSA 4. So now when the border router receives these external routes, LSA 5 routes, it has to pass on this information to the next router, that is to internal routers, all LSA files. So while it is advertising all LSA files, it also needs to include the information about who is originating these routes. So who is originating from where this information is being received, because it has to maintain that information inside the database. So basically that is what it has to include, this information. And that information is called LSA 4. So when it is advertising, it will say that, okay, these are the external routes which are originated from ASBR, and the route ID of that ASBR is F. Let's say this is a F router, or you can say like 1.1.1.1. So when the border router is advertising these LSA files to the internal router, it is going to include the information that ASBR is equal to F, or 1.1.1.1 is a route ID. So informing about the external routes is LSA 4. Okay, so here there are two things we need to understand here. The normal updates, external updates are LSA files. But while it is doing that, it has to inform that these external routes, nothing but your LSA files, are coming from which router? The ASBR. This is F, or whatever the route ID. Normally it will be route ID. I'm just giving a letter F, but it will be the route ID. So this information, we call it as a LSA 4. LSA 4 is again the information about the external routes from where they are originating, whereas LSA 5 are the actual external routes. So that is something correlated with each other. So whenever the external routes are being advertised, it also includes the LSA 4 information. So LSA 4 is more kind of an information. LSA 5 is kind of a routes. Okay, so that's the difference between LSA 4 and 5. Finally, there are LSA 6. We don't use it because the LSA 6, as I said, it is not used. This protocol is no more used. Even Cisco doesn't support this. So there's no LSA 6 right now. We'll talk about LSA 7 again when we get into the stubs concept. So I'm not going to discuss this, but we use a stub concept which allows external routes to pass through the stub area. Again, these concepts you'll get more clear when we jump into the NSSA concept. So there we'll practically verify this LSA 7, where we'll see why exactly we need LSA 7 in which scenarios. Okay, so these are the 5 common LSAs you'll find. 7 you'll find if you are using NSSA concept, or else you will not find. Like I said, 8, 9, 10, 11 LSAs are only applicable when you are doing some advanced integrations with BGP or MPLS. At that point of time, you need some additional information required, and those are used in that scenarios.